Leverage trading is perhaps one of the most used instruments when it comes to the financial markets. And a lot of people don't really understand what exactly it is to be applying leverage to their trades, which is why on this video I'm going to be explaining in details what leverage trading is about and how you can make the most of it. Hi, my name is Prince Wonder, MD Wonderful. Now, leverage is simply something that you apply to boost your capital or to boost your position or to mitigate what you're offering. Yeah? So you can apply leverage to a particular position and amplify that position size a couple of folds, 100-fold, even using certain exchanges and stuff. Now, primarily, let me walk you through leverage trading from my perspective. Now, if I want to take a position, because I have a fixed position size for every single trade, based on my risk management strategy, I don't just take positions. So I have fixed position sizes for every single trade. Now, I want to take a trade, and that trade really still has a lot of room for my position. So I've not really met my minimum risk. So I can still afford to double, triple, quadruple my position size. So instead of adding more capital to my account, I can simply use leverage to amplify my position size or to amplify the size of the position I can take, still while still maintaining the maximum loss that I have set out for my trade. Take for example, I have a certain trade with a lower time frame trade, and then that trade has a say 3% risk. Yeah. Now, say my trading capital per trade is give or take $300. Now, on the $300 account, 3% risk on that trade is simply $9, which say my minimum of maximum loss of that trade on every single trade based on my trading strategy could be up to $30, right? So if I have a $9 risk and I still have a lot of room to grow, I still have $21 to be able to risk on this particular trade. Now, in order to be able to do that, I need to increase my position size up to say $900 in order to get up to a $27 loss, right? But instead of putting up $900 on that trade or tying down $900 on that trade, I could simply go to the futures market. My same $300 using 3x leverage has been amplified up to $900. So now I'm able to risk $27 to $30 on that trade without amplifying or boosting my capital. Yeah, my capital remains the same, but I've amplified my position size, so I am going to be making dash 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 and not risking more than my maximum risk. On another side, you see there's a flip side to this as well. You can take a trade, a very large position using a very small capital. You see, when it comes to leverage trading, all your capital is required for is to cover the downside of the trade, to cover the downside of the trade. This is a secret that a lot of people don't know. What your capital is for is to cover the downside of the trade. So you could take a trade with say $50, a $1,000 trade with a $50 capital. Yeah, all you need that $50 is for is to cover the downside of the trade. So you could take very large positions without actually putting up any reasonable capital. You could just, okay, after calculating this trade, the maximum loss of this trade is dash 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 amount, say $100, and then you put $100 into that trade with a certain lot size. Okay, so let's say you're risking 10% of $1,000 on that trade, which is $100. Now, instead of putting $1,000 in that trade, I could use $100 capital and use 10x leverage. So you see, the entire loss on that trade amounts to $100, and so I only put $100 in that trade. So if that trade is liquidated, meaning my entire position has been liquidated, my trade has literally been stopped out. Either way, whether I put $1,000 on that trade or not, my position would have been closed out at $100 loss. So you're trading, or you can use leverage to amplify your capital, or simply to save yourself the stress of putting a large chunk of capital on every single trade. Just put enough money to cover the downside of the trade. I'm sure these are some of the things that you don't know about leverage trading. So I thought I should give you some insights to leverage trading based on my own personal experience. I hope to enjoy that. If you learned a thing or two on this video, you can click the subscribe button down below and hit a like, comment on the video. And as well, you can check out a lot of our other YouTube videos. They are of great value and educational content. So you can check them out. You learn a lot. Thank you. See you next time.